There we go. Okay, I'm sure you've all seen Scratch before. I'm Brian Clark. I work for Learning Teaching Scotland. I am currently on secondment there as a development officer for the Consularium. And before that, I was principal teacher of computing at Portobello High School. And as a result, I spent a lot of time working with Scratch with kids in first and second year. And what I've noticed is that there's an awful lot of these controls that people don't use. And I was kind of wondering why this was. And the one that I've kind of discovered recently is these ones, these sensor controls. And they work with these little Scratch, these little Lego blocks from WeDo. And there's a tilt sensor and there's a distance sensor. And if I just quickly show you, because I think this is really a nice way for kids to interact with programs to write in terms of building their own input devices. Great lessons on ergonomics and things like that. Anyway, I'll quickly show you this. So I think it's quite a nice thing. It's quite cheap. So if I quickly just create a little variable so we can see how the tilt sensor works. Okay. Set sensor to sensing. Pop this up. And choose the tilt sensor which is connected. And forever. Okay, can you all see that variable up the top there, yeah? Is it clear enough? Yeah, so when you're moving it, you can see the sensor changes number. Yeah. So I was thinking, well, what can you do with that? And I all of a sudden realized, well, you can make this an input device. So if I quickly just open up a wee kind of marbly type maze, open, no, there we go. And here's a little kind of marbles type maze. It's using the same sensor, using this tilt sensor here. And you can see the sensor direction down the bottom. And when you go and play it, essentially, oh, press the green flag, that helps. You're guiding your marble around your maze using a sensor, which is really quite cheap. Now, I was just thinking to myself, well, wouldn't it be great if the students think about building their own input devices? I mean, this isn't very ergonomic. There's a huge thing about ergonomics in devices. It's one of the things that's missing when you build a game for the PC, certainly using things like Scratch. You don't have joystick control. You can use the arrow keys and you can use maybe the mouse sometimes, but you actually build your own controller with this. I think that's lovely. I think it's a really nice idea. It's also got a distance sensor as well. I'll just stop that. And the distance sensor works by, let's quickly open that, a new one. The distance sensor works just a little bit like this. I'll quickly create a variable as well. Oh. Okay. Control forever. And variable set sense to. I use the sensing blocks end down the bottom here. Use the sensor value again from the one here, and choose the distance one. Need to show them a variable, don't I? There we go. Right, this got a wee sensor at the top. I don't know if you can see it, but if you can see the number, it kind of detects how close my thing is. So you think to yourself, well, I could use that as a button, because if I put my finger on it, the distance becomes 0. And that could be like pressing a button. So you can attach this to your lovely ergonomically designed control pad, and you've got some kind of device which you can control a character with and press a button. So if I quickly just open one I made earlier. Okay, and I've got the sensor direction here so you can see what's happening. So when you run, space bar to start, left and right, and you press the button now, and a fire. How cool is that? And I just think, you know, being able to buy, this stuff's quite cheap. I mean, I'm not quite sure, it's not super expensive, but that's all you need. And you can actually go in your technical departments and get kids to build their own ergonomically designed controllers. If you're making an airplane game, it could be like the kind of joystick for an airplane, or if you can even perhaps make a joystick with this. Or you could build a steering wheel. Let's say you're doing a Mario Kart project and you build a racing game from scratch. Build your own steering wheel. Just get the top of a big margarine tub and just stick that in the middle of it, you know, and drive around. I think it's cool. Anyway, there we go. Thank you.